G'day guys, so what we're looking at today is some modifications to the compound interest formula, because if you want to calculate your compound interest differently depending on the number of times you want to do it, you need to use a slightly different formula. So the modified formula is up here, and it looks exactly the same except there's two different variables. So T2 is still basically the same as the old one, except it can be on a much different scale now. And then T1 is the new variable that we have to put in there. T1 calculates how often the interest is being accrued or earned. So normally, if we're dealing with yearly compound interest, the answer is it's just 1. 1 means a year. 12 means it's being calculated monthly, but 365 is being calculated daily. And that means T2 changes to how many units of T1 is being earned. So if you're talking about interest daily, how many days has it been accrued for? If you're using it in terms of months, how many months? So if I were to do a question, we put $2,000 on a credit card, and it's 3.3% per annum, but compounded daily. So it's a $2,000 loan on a credit card, because that's what a credit card is. It's basically just an informal loan. It's 3.3% per annum, but it is compounded daily for 2 years. So we go back to our formula and we go, okay, A equals P. And now because it is compounded daily, we need to make sure that we put the right numbers in. So P times 1 plus R over, now because we know that T1 is daily, it's going to be 365 times 100. And that means that our number up here is going to need to be in the number of days. So that's going to be 2 times 365, which is 730. The yearly interest rate is replaced with 3.3. And P is 2,000. So opening up the CAS for this. So we'll put in here, it's going to be 2,000 times 1 plus 3.3 divided by 365 times 100. Now I'm going to put a bunch of things in brackets just so that it doesn't get confused, and make sure it does everything in the right order for me. And then to the power of 730. So there you go. 2,000 times 1 plus 3.3 over 365 over 100, or times 100 to the power of 730. So that's $2,136 for having that loan for 2 years. Now that's slightly different to the old way of working it out, because if I compare it to 1 plus 3.3 over 100 to the power of 2, it's slightly different. So that's the difference between compounding monthly, also daily, monthly, yearly. The yearly means you accrue a lot more interest in the same amount of time. So take a guess at how banks like to charge you interest on your credit card. Which one's going to make them more money? Yeah, it's daily. They want to earn you as much. They want to earn as much money off you as possible, so they will charge you interest daily for having a loan with them. Although that 3.3 is probably very, very generous. They probably, if anything, they probably charge you interest at something like 13%. So if I change that to a 13%, you can see the difference between compounding daily and compounding yearly. It's like now $40. All right. So if you are doing things using compounded interest and they ask you to do something other than yearly, then you need to use the template that I gave you before. Like that, and you need to make sure that you have the correct numbers in place. All right, so normally what they'll do is they'll give you an interest rate that is per year, and then they'll give you something different. All right, so the R is still in years. Percentage per annum. All right, A and P are still the same as it always was.